Kind of hit my breaking point May 20th, around there, and it was on the way to work. I took my last hit of heroin and I broke because I had nothing left to do through work. So I was outside literally by a gas station crying, and somebody just happened to call me and they saved my life because they took me in, helped me look for sober living houses or treatment programs or anything like that. And one of the first ones that they found was Sovereign Health. And a worker from Sovereign Health actually stayed on the phone with me for 2 days straight. Every 2 hours they were calling me, checking on me, seeing how I was doing. So the fact that they were willing to go the extra step and make sure that I was okay before I even got to program, that kind of led me to going there. But it was literally just a shot in the dark. Just found a name online. Well, they had the option of what's called the NAD treatment, which is a nutritionally assisted detox. And what that means is instead of taking meds to get off of the drugs you were on, which for me personally was heroin, like I said, instead of going on like Suboxone or naltrexone or anything like that that'll help you with the cravings, you get pumped with an IV every day for 10 days straight that's full of enzymes, coenzymes, amino acids, minerals, and vitamins. And it literally latches on to all the toxins in your body throughout all of it, all the drugs you've done. And they all affect different areas, and it latches onto those toxins and rips them off. And it is a little jarring, but once you get used to it, it makes you feel 10 times better every day. And it just completely cleans you out, even from smoking cigarettes. It cleans out all the toxins. And so the fact that they had that treatment, it appealed to me a lot, so I came here because I didn't want to be on medication to get off of drugs. It kind of seemed reversed to me. That program really led me here. Very nice, very clean, good staff that actually care about the clients here. They actually take a personal interest. I know everybody tells people here to leave the work here, but none of them do. They all go back and think about the clients, think about what's best for them, and come back the next day with new ideas and new thoughts and new ways to process things. And so the fact that they are really hands-on here is something that I didn't expect, because it's my first treatment ever, and it was a really good experience. The first house I stayed at when I first got here was, it's called Paula House. And the guys there are just top notch. They're probably two of the best house managers that are here at Sovereign. And it was just relaxed. And then the second house I was at, it was actually right by a golf course. It's a huge house. All of the houses here are super nice. And this one had like 3 stories. There were people staying on each story. It was just very big and open and relaxing. All the houses have a very relaxed environment. And then the latest house that I was at actually had the closest family vibe that I've ever had with any people here. We all kind of came together as brothers and helped each other out. So while the house may not have been like a multi-million-dollar house at this latest one, it was still very nice. But the people there actually made it what it was, which was a very recovering environment. Me personally, I don't really take that much stock in psychology or therapy. I don't. It's the way that I've been raised and what I've learned through my education. And even still, the therapist understood that, and he kind of took a step back, and instead of trying to psychoanalyze me, he just talked. And we just, how things are going, how I'm feeling, not really a whole, well, tell me about your child life, and tell me about this, and all of the psychobabble that can get thrown around in these kind of places. It wasn't like that, at least with my therapist. And then my case manager was just on top of things completely. Just every question I had, she had an answer, or she knew somebody that could answer the question. And if I had a special request, because I'm also trying to go back to school, that was something very hard to orchestrate and plan out for me to be able to go to school to re-enroll and do all the paperwork. But she was able to get that handled even very quickly. So I was very pleased with the people that I got put on a one-on-one basis with. My favorite group was either processing and NA meeting, which I've really come to enjoy going to. And the group was kind of like that, where everybody got to share where they were at that certain point in their life. Well, you get up early because they are trying to instill in you a schedule again. Because when you're using, your only schedule is you wake up when you're not high anymore, you get high, you stay high until you have to go to sleep, and then you go to sleep high. Here, they wake you up early, you have to make your bed, you have to take care of your clothes, personal hygiene. They're very serious about that because it's the little things that will make you slip up the most. Because if you don't have a handle on the very simple things, you will lose track and you'll end up relapsing. So they instill in you a very strict schedule, but it's for your own good. And then once you are done getting ready in the morning, you come to the center and you go to group. And you go to about 2 or 3 groups before lunch and then 2 or 3 groups after, depending on what level of care you are. But it's always very schedule-based, very timely, and very organized because you had no structure in your life as an addict. You need structure now. And so even though it may seem like they're just picking on you, they're really trying to help you the best way that they can. The people. I'm sure all other centers have the same basic structure when it comes to how the day goes and what you do and how the houses are set up, but the people at Sovereign really make the difference because you kind of bond with certain workers and certain patients or clients here. And it's that relationship, that friendship that you build that kind of motivates you to stay clean. Because you're like, well, if I mess up and relapse, then it's not only going to be, your family who's been disappointed with you all along and your close friends back home. They all knew before you knew that you were an addict. But these new people that you're going through this struggle with, they kind of motivate you because you don't want to mess up and bring them down. Because if you disappoint them, they could go out and use too. So it's not just your life in your hands anymore, it's also theirs. So I think the people at Sovereign are my favorite part about it. Schedule. I have to stick to a schedule. If I just go to sleep at whatever time at night, I don't do good in the morning. And if I don't wake up early enough in the morning, I rush through my day and it makes everything kind of hectic. But if I have a certain schedule when I go to sleep, when I wake up, when I eat, and when I do the certain things that I have to do, then I don't really have any excess time that I feel like I need to fill with drugs. So I think the schedule and the rigidity of it is what I'm going to take away the most here. Don't think it's going to be a cakewalk. It's not. It's going to be hard, but it's supposed to be hard. Somebody told me that if rehab was the easiest thing in the world, then nobody would ever stop using because the only thing at the end of the tunnel is either jail or really easy rehab. And jail is forced upon you. Rehab is something you have to choose. So if you're going to choose to go into rehab, go into it with a mindset of this is going to be hard, it's going to break me down, but only to build you back up. Because you actually broke when you took that last drug. So if you're ready to make the next step in your life and actually get it back together, get into treatment, find a sponsor, work the steps, and just live it day by day. 24 hours clean is all you need.